at the time that they do it. The silent treatment is a form of emotional abuse. Psychology Today just had a recent study about the type of abuse that it is and what it does to us. Never permit that. Because what will happen is your brain starts to release chemicals the same way as it does when it's any other type of abuse. Physical pain, for example. And it starts to send signals out that will cause you then, whether it's conscious or unconscious, to behave as though you are being abused. You will start to behave as a victim, have a victim mentality, therefore have a victim communication style. You don't want that, because what happens is that starts to seep in insidiously into your other relationships, and you start to take on characteristics of an abused person even when you're not with people who are abusing you. You start to behave as an abused person does in all of your relationships. Then you start to behave as an abused person does even when you are alone, because you have now told yourself that is who you are. Don't tell yourself that's who you are. I'm assuming most of the time when people do that, they're not trying to be abusive, but do not permit that person to remain silent when they are with you, because that way they will be getting their reward of they're inflicting that silence on you. That is their reward. So principle number 1, do not permit it. Remember that people treat us how we allow them to treat us. We train people how to treat us. And if you allow somebody to inflict that type of abuse on you one time and let them know basically it works, because they will be getting what they want. They will be shutting down that conversation. They will be shutting you out, and they'll be inflicting that silence on you. Because remember, when somebody withdraws and is silent, but they remain with you, they might as well be continually punching you in the face. What would you do if somebody were doing that? I hope you say, I would leave. Now, I hope you don't say I would punch them back. That's not the solution. So when somebody engages in the silent treatment, you want to always immediately remove yourself from the situation, because you do not want them to believe that they can inflict that on you until they are done, until they have figured that's enough. No, as soon as they start to be silent, you say something such as, John or Mary, I can see that this has now crossed into dangerous territory, or however you want to put it. I can see that this is not working. I can see that this conversation is going nowhere. I can see that this is now turned from a conversation into a fight, however you want to put it. So therefore, I'm going to go. I'm going to step away. I'm going to withdraw. I am excusing myself. I am leaving. Whatever it may be, I'm the one who's now saying, oh, all right, if that's the way you're going to engage with me, I'm going to choose to disengage with you. And you leave. But before you leave, tell them when you're ready to talk about this or how we can resolve these things in the future. Use a redirect with assumptions. Remember, a redirect with assumption statement is something such as, when you're ready to, I'll be ready to. So let them know when you're ready to continue this conversation without resorting to things such as silence. I'll be ready to continue talking with you about this. I'll be ready to continue this conversation. I'll be ready to continue this argument. I'll be ready to find a solution, whatever it may be. Then you go. And do not come back. You wait until they come back to you. So when you're ready to speak about this, come and let me know, and I'll be ready to finish this conversation. When you're ready to continue this conversation, give me a call, stop by my office, let me know, whatever. Put it on them. When you are ready to start speaking to me again, you do that. But until then, we will not be seeing each other. We will not be speaking, because even though it is abusive behavior, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt that they don't know that. They don't know that they are abusing you in that harsh of a way. And I want to ask myself, am I bringing this on? Am I hammering them where they have simply lost their words? Am I relentless where they just feel as though they have no other option and they are so upset they can't speak anymore? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not trying to inflict abuse on me, but they are. So to teach them, to train them, this will never work with me. What I'm going to do is excuse myself. I'm the one who's withdrawing when that happens, and you can come and see me when you are good and ready. Then when they do, they don't need to apologize. Don't wait for that. You're not keeping score. Remember, when you keep score, you always come out the loser. always. If they say, okay, I'm ready to talk about it. All right. Before you do, remember this 3-step approach you must take. Number 1, you want to apologize for whatever you did that brought them to the point where they felt that that was their only recourse. Okay? Now, by the way, I'm not suggesting you do this if somebody physically abuses you. Totally different approach. But if this is what has happened, number 1, apologize for whatever you did to bring the relationship, the conversation, the argument to that point. Number 2, clarify what the silent treatment is and how that is not a communication tool, but it is a form of abuse. And number 3, suggest alternatives for when that happens in the future. Something like this, Mary, I'm glad that you came back, and I apologize for speaking to you in a way that evidently made you feel as though using silence was your only communication recourse, because I never want you to feel that way. I always want you to feel as though you can say whatever you need to say to me so that we can go forward in our relationship, not stand still.